The Order of our Martyred Lady is one of the major orders militant of the Adepta Sororitas, or the Sisters of Battle. Founded in honour of Saint Catherine by the Ecclesiarch Alexis XXII, the long-lived successor of the great reformer Sebastian Thor, in the 36th millennium, when the location of the Adepta Sororitas primary convent was split between Terra and Ophelia VII, creating, among others, the Order of our Martyred Lady. Of all the orders militant, there are none more numerous or more widely spread than the Order of our Martyred Lady. Their name is known by the ruling elites and unwashed masses alike on countless worlds across the galaxy, and when spoken evokes hope in the righteous and fear amongst the faithless. The Order is renowned for its unrelenting pursuit of those who defy the Emperor by doing harm to his Imperium and its citizens. Xenos, marauders, chaos armies, and heretical cults are met with burning fury by the Sisters of our Martyred Lady, who gather wherever the enemy is found to scour them from existence. The Order of our Martyred Lady holds fortified sanctuaries on a great many Imperial worlds, many of which date back to Saint Catherine's Wars of Faith. Some of these sanctuaries operate in relative isolation, existing far beyond the established boundaries of the Order's parish, but the majority are located in the Segmentum Obscurus. The broad distribution of the Order's preceptories has seen the Sisters of the Order of our Martyred Lady engage in many of the Imperium's most grueling war zones. On Armageddon, the Sisters amassed to defend the Sanctorum of Saint Catherine against the Orc hordes of Ghazghkull Thraka. Though fully half of their number were martyred, they inflicted such casualties on their enemies that vital greenskin forces were drawn away from other battlefronts. The sheer grit of the Sisters enticing orcs from far and wide to join the siege. The Order also fought on Cadia during the 13th Black Crusade of Abaddon the Despoiler. Though the planet eventually fell, the faith held by those who battled there led to a great miracle, with Saint Celestine appearing from the warp to bolster the defenders in their darkest hour. Although the Great Rift now divides many of the Order's sanctuaries, the Sisters of our Martyred Lady have not relented in their quest to avenge the Imperium's fallen heroes. They stand dauntless against the chaos forces that pour from the newly opened warp storms, and they march out to annihilate any foe that would prey upon humanity's beleaguered defenders. The fire of their spirit is a beacon of hope, a sign that even in this time of abounding horror, the Emperor has not abandoned his faithful servants. The Order of our Martyred Lady was once known as the Order of the Fiery Heart. Like their fellow Adepta Sororitas orders militant, the Sisters of the Fiery Heart could trace their origins back to the teachings of the Daughters of the Emperor during the Age of Apostasy in the 36th millennium. But soon, small variances began to manifest amongst the newly founded orders as the persona of the different founders asserted themselves. The Order of the Fiery Heart reflected the vengeful nature of their first canoness and eventual patron saint Catherine. Catherine had long been regarded as Dominica's second in command, and even before heading her own order had led many successful campaigns against the forces of heresy and warpcraft. With the Sisters of the Fiery Heart behind her, Catherine engaged in ever more wars of faith, seeking out the enemy both within and beyond the borders of the Imperium. and casting upon them the immolating light of the Emperor. She led her order for many solar decades, enforcing the Emperor's will and prosecuting wars of faith across the galaxy. Within her lifetime, she was declared a living saint for performing legendary acts and led her order to countless victories. It was during one such war of faith that Catherine was slain. Records regarding the event of her martyrdom are sparse and at times contradictory, with the oldest and most reliable account appearing in a charred fragment of parchment known as the Candela Scroll. The legible script on this scroll states that Catherine's death came at the hands of the witch cult of Nestius, but there is no indication of what this cult was or how they managed to slay the revered warrior. Ecclesiastical records do show that word of Catherine's demise sent waves of anguish throughout the Adepta Sororitas, with many orders holding solar weeks-long vigils. Yet, the Order of the Fiery Heart took no such action. Every last preceptory, commandery, and mission in the Order girded themselves for battle, and channeled their grief into an endless quest for retribution. In honour of their fallen matriarch, they became the Order of our Martyred Lady, and have continued to seek vengeance ever since. For millennia, the Sisters of the Order bore armour and weapons of stark black as a sign of their mourning. It was only after their engagements in the Third War for Armageddon that red was introduced into their livery. The Order once operated a convent on the desolate, wind-swept world of Sanctuary, known as Fortress Sanctuary 101. In 897 M41, the convent and all the Sisters of Battle within were destroyed by the awakening of the Necrons, who had made Sanctuary one of their tomb worlds. 12 standard years later, in 909 M41, Canoness Sepharina made a pilgrimage to the site of the massacre. Her task was to reconsecrate the hallowed ground of the former convent, which still bore the scars of the Necron attack. She erected a single statuette of their patron saint Catherine for each slain sister, to stand eternal vigil over the site of her sister's martyrdom. By the time of Sepharina's pilgrimage, the bodies of the slain battle sisters had yet to be returned from Inquisitor Hoth, who was studying them to learn more about the Necron's weaponry, much to the chagrin of their order.